After a 4-year stint with the One Championship, MMA legend Eddie Alvarez is wondering where he'll fight next. But is that the question he should be asking? After kicking off his professional mixed martial arts career way back in 2003, Alvarez traveled the world looking for a fight before settling down with Bellator in 2009. Within 3 fights, he was the lightweight champion. In 2014, after 2 Bellator title reigns, Alvarez made his way to the UFC. 4 fights later, he was the lightweight champion, making him the first champ to earn a title in the 2 biggest MMA promotions in America.
I've always been the underground king of this sport. I've always been the UFC champion, whether I was here or not. It just was a matter of time before I got here, and I got this belt, and no one's getting it from me.
That was 2016, when he had a stellar record of 24-4, but things quickly went downhill from there. In his first defense, he faced the then featherweight champion Conor McGregor. This was when the Irish phenom was at the peak of his professional prowess.
I predict I rearrange his face. He's too easily hit. Through all the talk and through all everything else, he can be hit too easily. It's happened to him his whole career. And when you're talking about somebody with the precision I have, I'm gonna hit him. He's gonna fall. Maybe if his toughness holds up, he'll survive. But then his face will begin to be rearranged. So that's what I predict.
The prediction was accurate. McGregor pieced him up for 2 rounds and made it look easy. And Alvarez hasn't been the same since. In his next 3 fights with the UFC, the Underground King earned just 1 victory. He desperately needed a change of fortune, and along came the One Championship, Asia's premier MMA promotion. But was he going to change up who he was as a fighter?
Well, my intentions are always to go inside the cage and dominate my opponent from start to finish. I don't try to win rounds. If you ever watch any of my fights, I'm not interested in winning rounds or trying to play the gray areas and the rules of MMA. I'm here to dominate from start to finish.
Alvarez made his one debut in 2019, and someone dominated from start to finish, but it wasn't Alvarez. Timofey Neshchukin shattered his orbital bone in the first round. It was less than an ideal way to get his career back on track. In his second fight, the former champ Edward Falang destroyed Eddie's leg and looked set for a fast win before making a huge mistake. Falang followed Eddie to the mat where the Underground King made a miraculous comeback to take his back and choke him out. But was the win enough to get his career back on track? No, and Alvarez couldn't catch a break. He next faced Yuri Lapicus, and he was on his way to a first-round finish just like old times, right up until the referee waved the fight off. Eddie was disqualified for illegal blows to the back of the head. And while the L was eventually overturned and made a no contest, it still wasn't a win, and things were getting worse. In his next bout, Okreng floored him early with a single punch, and Alvarez was incredibly lucky to survive past the first round after a merciless pummeling. Proving his championship mentality was still there, Alvarez continued to fight, and he even almost turned it around in the 3rd round. But almost isn't good enough when punches keep coming back at your face. It went to the judges, and Alvarez lost by unanimous decision. It was the last fight he'd have with one. He's now 38, with 2 wins, 4 losses, and 2 no contests from his last 8 fights. Should he be asking where to fight next, or where to live out his well-earned retirement? Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.